Hey everyone, Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. So, Mr. A commented on one of my videos I posted about Wayne Dalton garage door sections, being off, the TS thermal spans. And I am so happy when I get comments from you guys because it just opens my mind up so much. And so with Mr. A, I don't really want to say his name because I'm not trying to bash him by any means. I'm just trying to educate and help other people. I want other people to learn from my mistakes and don't make my mistakes. And I want to learn from you guys too as well. So he was talking about going with an Amar, go get an Amar account. And it's one of those things, whatever floats your boat, more power to you. And he said it in a very nice way. It wasn't negative or anything. But the problem is, when I started thinking about go get an Amar account, I kind of did the I thought, go get an Amar account. I went, I'm not going to go get an Amar account. And here's the reason why. A little backstory. At one point in time, I used to deal with, when I was dealing with Wayne Dalton through Lowe's, Wayne Dalton used to give I remember my vendor at times said they would give an extra strut for insurance, right, for the top. Otherwise, like a 16x7 only comes with one strut, and that's for the middle. And that's so when the door's up, sagging and whatnot. And you need a second strut for if you're gonna hook an opener. Well, I mean, 9 times out of 10, when you're doing a 16x7, the customer either has an existing opener or you're gonna put up an opener. And so, the lobbyist thing started happening with Wayne Dalton and Amar through Lowe's. Amar ended up winning, and so Lowe's wasn't dealing with Wayne Dalton anymore. And I remember when that happened, to see the difference was horrendous. And I mean, that's an understatement. Their stuff was horribly labeled. I mean, it would come in on a truck and they would dump it off. And I mean, I couldn't make any sense of it. And I felt like I was going crazy because I'm like, I've been doing this for years and these stickers don't make no sense and this doesn't match this and the color coding. Wayne Dalton did a phenomenal job with organizing stickers and color. It was all color coded so my kids could figure it out. I can go in there and say, go get the ones that got blue stickers on it. It was just so much simpler. And I like that they gave us a little bit extra. Amar would try to pay us, but the problem is when we're a garage door industry, especially when you're small, you're not trying to, now you have one more thing to manage, right? You have one more thing. So now you're pulling your own struts, which supposedly they're going to pay you for and all this, but you're pulling your strut. Now, if you don't reorder that strut, now you get your own customer, you run into problems. So it was just a whole list of things. Weather seal would just come in a box. It was like sorted out, and then you get towards the end of the last door and it was like, you're missing the piece that you needed. It was a horrible adventure. And so eventually we ended up dropping it because another thing with the Amar doors was, and this could be just my particular area, it might not be your area. It's like car dealerships, right? Some car dealerships are good, some are bad. And so the problem is Amar doors were always, I call it, what do I call it? Like, it's rubbed raw, it's chafed. It's like two sections of rubbed, together, and they rub the paint off, or they'd be chipped, or they'd be dented. And I got to the point that I was telling these people there that I was basically the point I said, every door you send me, send touch-up paint. Every door that comes from you, send me touch-up paint for that door, because every door I would do, I either had to touch it up myself or I felt like I had to give a bottle to the customer because they're going to find a spot on it too that was missing paint. And I remember I talked to another garage door technician that was dealing with that. He was kind of like competition. They started working for me and whatnot. And he said, that was notorious. And he says, the salesman would always tell me, we'll give them a discount. And sorry, Mom, I got to tell this story. If you're like what I grew up in, my mom buys a new car, right? There's a chip in the door, right? And the sales guy goes, oh, no problem. We'll get the body shop on that. We'll get it fixed. No. That doesn't work for my mom. I don't want the car fixed and reworked I want a new car. You know what I mean? Like, I am paying you full price. So that's always ingrained into me, because I always look at it and I go, they're buying a brand new garage door, right? And if you're somebody like me, I just want it done, and I want it done right, and I don't want no hassles, and I want it to be new. If I paid for new, I want new. I don't want you doing touch up and one's got your fingerprint, you know, your dirty fingerprint on it because you were touching it up or touching it, whatever the case may be. I want a new door, you know what I mean? So you were always balancing a fine line. And I remember one time I went out to a customer. I picked it up in Grand Rapids, so it's roughly 45 minutes, an hour away, you know, and I'm going across state. I stopped there, I pick up the door, and I remember I was in the showroom or whatever, and I'm like, you guys got touch-up paint? They're like, oh, you know, and they were like, it's like they always use so much of it, they were always out of it, you know what I mean? So they're like, well, we got one right here, this is our last one, you know, and I'm like, give it to me. Because I remember I had to go another 30 minutes to 45 minutes away, still across state, to this job site, right? And I remember this customer, the guy's outside, and he's ecstatic, right? He's like, I just can't wait for my new garage door. I've been waiting, and it's here. And I'm like, yes, sir, great. I had my trailer with me, so the doors were stacked up on the side. And at this point now, I have no confidence in Amar. I had no confidence that their stuff would be protected correctly, that there wouldn't be, and I couldn't believe it. I started cutting the banding open. Now, mind you, I know this. I'm letting the customer not see the door, and I literally start peeling the sections back away from each other in the trailer, and it's every section has got rub marks on it. Every section. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I remember I'm telling the customer, like, oh yeah, I'm like, it's gonna be real nice, right? And I'm holding the back to him the whole time, and I'm stacking the door inside the garage. And I remember, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. And I could tell this customer, it was like one of those customers that's gonna wanna sit in a lawn chair and watch me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I don't have the, you know, we're getting paid a fixed amount for doing this. I don't have the time or money to come back here and do this again. So finally I got them wrangled up. I said, you know, you probably should go inside. The garage was kind of tight. You know, you shouldn't hang out here. I start stacking that door in every section. I'm running back outside, hopping over the door. I remember I had it to the point where I didn't want them to see it, that I had the sections laying down on the sawhorses, and I was under the sawhorses, you know, painting, paint here, paint here, paint here, right? All these little touch-ups. And I remember I got the last panel up, and I'm outside, you know, and I'm just kind of doing the cool man walk, you know. I'd probably be smoking a cigarette if I was smoking, you know, which I don't, cigar once in a while. But, you know, I'm sitting there, the wife pulls up, right? And I'm like, ooh. And she goes, oh, she comes out, and she just got home from work. She goes, man, it looks so nice. And I wanted to say to her, you know, you wouldn't have said that, you know, 20, 30 minutes ago when you would have seen this door, because it was in shambles, you know. And thank goodness I had the correct touch-up paint, you know what I mean? That I wasn't using a different vendor's paint on it, because I did this one time a long time ago when I was green and I was just starting out. We had a door that had some, it had roughage on it, whatever you want to call it. It was missing paint. And I remember I dusted it with some paint, right? I just kind of dusted it in the wind. It'll go away, it'll go away. And I remember many years, I'd always drive past. It was kind of by the lake, and I could, as the door weathered over the years, that paint stayed the same. It looked like a frown. It looked like almost like two sad eyes. So every time I thought, oh my gosh, every time this customer comes home, you know, they're looking at a sad face on their garage door. It wasn't the correct paint. And so things you learn, you know, and that's why it's so important to find a good vendor. You know what? And if Amar is the vendor for you and they absolutely take care of you and you're not getting damaged sections, then stay with them, because every place is different. It doesn't matter. I can go to a different city and it's all who's running the place. It's all how they handle it. But for me, the Amar over here, it just wasn't cutting it. It wasn't doing it. I can't sit there and debate with a customer and say, you know, I'm going to give you 50 bucks off. You know, I'll give you 100 bucks off. And they go, no, I want new sections. I want this. And then I got to order it. And one thing good about Wayne Dalton is they were always really good with, if I had a problem, I could send them a picture and they would warranty it. Where it just didn't seem like Amar wanted to. They really tried to. They were very corporate, you know what I mean? It wasn't very home feeling, where it was like, just bring it in, we'll take care of it, you know, because you know, as an installer, when you're out in the field, it's a different world. But when you live in a box, right? When you live at that corporation, you're just moving sections, right? You're just moving product, right? But you're not the one there at the end of the line dealing with a customer. The customer's upset. I've waited so long, you know, and now this is it. And it's like it all gets pointed at you as an installer. You know what I mean? It's all your fault. It's all you did this. You know what I mean? And it's the worst feeling in the world, especially when you're like me and you're just trying to provide a great service, a good product, and it's a win-win. You know, that's all I want, a win-win. Everybody's happy and everybody's good to go. So anyways, thanks for sticking around. I'm gonna get back to it. I'm enjoying the nice weather we got today since it stopped raining. It's been a tsunami around here lately. Anyways, take care, guys. Talk to you in the next one. Thanks for the comment. Comment below. Let me know. Do you have problems with Amar? I know there's other manufacturers out there, but comment below. I'd like to hear, because Amar was one of them that I just kind of had to walk away. I do use some of their products once in a while when I have to, but no, too much damage. So, and there was some other things, but anyways, another video. Talk to you there. See ya.